What's good with you people? It's your boy Truth Teller Young Skills, and I'm joined with the one and only Fee. Welcome to Live from the Southside. This here is a special edition, so it's not our welcome back episode, but before we get to rolling into that, I wanted to do something a little different. Take some time out for you to get to know my actual sister. See, a lot of people think I call her sister just because she's a strong soul sister. No, it's my actual sister. We have a crazy story. And today's episode is not about our story. I want to focus more or less about Fee's story. A lot of things that you don't know, and let's get a perspective because we've been gone for a long time, and some of our hiatus break ties into her wonderful story. So before we get started, how are you doing today?
I'm doing marvelous. Excellent. Had a little family brunching. You know, it's always a great pleasure to come see my brother and kick it with him and catch up and spend some personal time with the family.
Yes. Brunch was amazing.
Yes, it was.
The itis is like whooping my ass right now, but yeah. Had me a good stack of waffles and some what was that, cinnamon roll cake.
Yeah, my sister made some cinnamon roll cake, new cake.
Our other sister is an amazing
bakerist,
pastry chef.
Yeah, she need her own bakery
ASAP.
That's what she needs.
Seriously, like she's blessed and talented. So we've just been feasting like you wouldn't believe. So yeah, I've been happy all evening. But outside of that, I want to know, and the people want to know, who is Fee? Break it down.
Well, first and foremost, I am a Gemini, so if anybody knows, they know. Second of all, I am a mother, and I am family oriented. I am of many of things. I am an entrepreneur. I am a hustler. I am a creative design master of my own creativity. I am a sorceress of many of things.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not just one individual. I am many individuals.
Multifaceted.
Yes. I am multifaceted.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah.
So let's go back. But before we even go back, I wanted to ask this. You have this book, and what do you call it? A memory book? I call it that.
Book.
Life book.
Yes.
You call it life book. Okay. Break down your life book and the concept of that. Why did you even start that?
I started my life book. It's because of my social worker at the time, Bernie Pullum. When I was a foster child, because I've moved around so many places, so many facilities, so many homes, so many group homes. She said it was a great idea for me to take pictures and keep memory, so that when I grow older, I can, let my kids know, let old friends know, and see how they were doing and how they were to how they are now. When I was in my group home, I went around to other group homes and to other facilities, explaining the importance of having a life book when it came to being a foster child. Because a lot of foster child don't get adopted. A lot of foster child, they don't remember. So this is for them to remember so they don't forget where they come from. So that's the whole purpose of my life book.
Do you still add to your life book today?
Yes, I do. I've been working on my life book since I was about 14 years old, and it's pretty thick. I haven't worked on it in a while, but I've also started both of my daughters' life book as well.
Okay.
So I started doing theirs as well. So I encourage you guys to go ahead and go back down memory lane and backtrack from what you could remember. Take pictures of your old homes and stuff. If you get older and your memory starts to fade, that also helps.
Oh yeah, tell them how old my nieces are.
Your oldest niece is 7 and your youngest is 1, but she'll be 2, 3, 11. So her second birthday's coming up.
Definitely.
Definitely. She's getting ready to be 2, so 2 little babies.
That's a blessing. That is a blessing. So growing up, right? And what I want to share with the audience, as you heard a little bit a second ago, we didn't grow up together. So it was 2 totally different lifestyles. You've been through a lot. I was a little bit more fortunate in my stability as a child and exactly where I was and how things were positioned for me. But break it down. How was that for you? How was everything with the moving around and just, let me know about that.
Well, we were stable for a little while. You know, when you were a little boy, mom just gave you away to her friend. You know, that's all I know about that story. Down the line, I found out why. Me going into foster care, I had no idea what was going on. But as time go, me asking questions, when am I going to see my mom? Where's my brothers? Nothing came back. So my attitude started to change real bad. I started to get real rebellious. I wanted to know the truth, so I started to find out the truth that the reasons for us leaving was because our mother was on drugs real bad, and she set my father up and got him killed by her boyfriend. And she really lost her mind after that. She really turned to drugs real heavy. She couldn't deal with it. So she got rid of Tim and Thomas first. Well, she got rid of you first. We were way younger. You went first. After that, Tim and Thomas went with my grandfather. Then after that, me, Xavier, and Renee went. Me, Xavier, and Renee went into the foster care together. Once I start getting a little older, I start getting a little fresh feeling myself. Oh, this lady ain't my mother. Start getting hard headed, not listening, doing my own little thing, and I just fell into the wrong hands. Wanted to be a follower, didn't know what was going on, where I was going, who I was. Some things went wrong in the foster home, my first foster home, so it was the second one. Then the third, all the way to 6. I lived in 6 foster homes, in between 3 group homes and 1 shelter. So I moved around a lot.
And any of those places, could you say, with all of that bouncing around and moving around, could you, just looking back now, could you say one place was home, or they never felt that way?
I felt one place with my foster mom, Andrea Stuckey, was right for me. But it didn't work out because she had a little drinking problem. So the system found out and they took me out of her home. I loved Andrea Stuckey so much because she took the time to know who I was. At that time, I was modeling and taking pictures and stuff. So she got me a contract with Fashion Bug and went against the rules of, my social worker and stuff. She did it underneath the table. But once my social worker got a hold of that news,
It's a wrap.
she got a hold, because I'm government property, Henrico, so I'm government property. She got a hold of that contract and she stopped the contract. I couldn't do my modeling with them anymore. They snatched me out of her home and put me, in another facility until I found a home to go to. My foster mom, when I was 15, I lived with her, which is the foster mom I'm in contact with to this day. So I got back reunited with her. And we talked about, my behavior and why I left and what was going on with that. But she loves both of my kids. She loves me. We take care of each other. I check in on her. She check in on me. She takes Scarlett for for weeks and stuff to get her off my hand. Give me a little break. So I love my foster mom for that too. So
that's a blessing. That's a blessing. You need people like that.
You do. I definitely do.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
So after going through those situations, you start becoming a woman. You start developing. You start figuring out who it is you want to be in this world. What is your next step?
My next step, since I have 2 daughters, it's not just me anymore. So I can't walk around with that selfish attitude anymore. I have two young ones to raise up. So my focus is on them. And me getting back into my craft, the studio, my videos, me writing movies, and getting back into things that made me me.
Okay.
It's a distraction. I've been distracted, because I've been doing my mommy thing. But it's like now time, little gaps to get back into what made Fifi.
Writing movies, getting back into the studio.
Yes.
That is some amazing stuff. Before we talk too much about that, your current things, let's go back a little bit. When you get out of this foster home situation, what is your idea on life? Could you remember, because now you're out of the system, is it a scary thing? Is it new opportunities? How are you feeling?
Well, at the time I was 18 years old and I was kicked out of my group home facility, they were not funding me because how my attitude was, I wanted to be so independent so bad. So they released me when I turned 18 years old. 1 or 2 weeks before I turned 18, I had to go find an apartment. I had to go back and enroll my last year in high school, and I had to find a job. So I did all of those things with that little bit of time I had to work with. Um, I was the only person in my high school with an apartment. 18 years old, no parents. Yeah, so it was scary as hell.
It was scary.
It was scary as hell because it's like one thing to be in a facility where you have people still watching you versus you being out in the world, no family around. I had no idea what my sisters and brothers were. I was not in contact with any of my foster moms. I was literally left by myself. I was given no contact to any of my family members that's still in Richmond to this day. You know, I live not too far from my aunt, right up on Chamberlain Avenue, not too far from her at all. So it's like little things like that I think would have helped me. I lost that apartment, you know what I'm saying, being young and reckless and dumb.
Yeah, like your
But
first
you know,
one. I think
yeah,
everybody's
I lost
first
that
apartment, they have some type of story like that.
Yeah,
You
and I
know.
was 18. A lot of people don't get smacked. Like I was literally smacked with this. You know what I'm saying? Even living in the independent living home, they make you pay your little $100 something to try to get you to mold, but it's really different from you actually out there doing it from doing it in a facility. So it was scary, but you know, I found a place after that, and after that I got more better with operating with the lively things outside in the world. So got better with time.
So it's like they kind of, not even they, it was like after the system, you were literally thrown into the deep end, and it's like you have to adjust,
Yeah.
swim or sink pretty much.
Pretty much because I had no one to turn to if I did sink. And if when I did sink at the time, the little bit of people that I thought were friends, how they change and turn up on you because they're in their own space. They will only give you a little bit of time. That's something that I've learned. If you ever live with anyone, you have just a little bit of time to get it together and get up out of their place before they arguments come, the discomfort come, and they ready to kick you out. So it's like, do what you got to do and just move on. I had to learn that real fast. I ain't had no time to mess up. I had no time to mess up. It was, if I messed up, who was going to be there to help me correct? No one. So it's just literally me figuring this stuff out.
You have an amazing story of resilience. So shout outs to you, you know,
Thank you.
for
Thank
going
you.
through everything you've been through and still being here to stand strong today, you know.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I think you,
It's a lot.
but in that a lot, I think it could be motivation for some people, you know. I know it's a woman out there that's probably fresh out of the system, like, damn, what do I do, you know? And hearing your story, at least they know it's somebody out there that could relate to me. Maybe they can't reach you or don't know how to, but you know, these things I think are very important and they are essential. You know, everyone's story is unique to them, but I think at least it's chapters in everyone's book that other people can relate to, you
Right.
know. So of course you didn't write that specific chapter, but after you hear it, you know, some of it in that, you know, it could definitely relate to you. So I think that's dope. So then we come to before we even get to like what's going on right now, we speed up, and many a year later, you know, through trial and tribulations, through your ups, through your downs, we connect as a family, and I think that's really dope.
Yeah.
We get in touch, and we all, you know, are, and we're in this making up for missing time, you know. So I think that's really dope, you know. So let me just break the situation down. So we rolling on a podcast, and it's a nice ensemble cast. I feel like, you know, everyone's gelling, everyone's meshing, and then from the audience standpoint, we take this long hiatus. You know, we just everything just stops. You know, and it does. It feels weird from my standpoint. You know, sitting in the chair, and from a audience standpoint, I don't like calling people fans, but from a family standpoint, I know y'all like, hey, where have you guys been? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I think it'll be behooving and better for you to at least let the people in on, you know, what happened for us to take this long hiatus. And we are in the gears of getting back in the motion, but break it down for the people. What happened?
Well, my best friend of 9 years. Some know her as Kiki. Some know her as Bambi's. But I call her Bam. She has been locked up. She got locked up. And she got locked up because she took a metal baseball bat and bust my stepson head open. At that time, he was 8 years old. Why she did it, it's still a question of my mind. That whole day still don't play out right to me when I sat on that phone for her for over 2.5 hours and talked to her before she even went home. I was getting off of work. I worked an hour away at the time, and to get that phone call from my child's father and for him to turn that camera around and me see his head slit open the way it was is just death defying. I didn't know what to do. I almost crashed my car. I had to pull over off the highway because that's how serious it was. Um, the story is childish. Some lady across the street came over there to her to let her know that my stepson was chasing some boy up the street with a stick because they had some little drama going on. But for her to take a metal baseball bat that was in my house and to think that that was the way of disciplining my stepson, she was dead wrong for that. Before that, she was told never to touch him again because she disciplined him before. And that cost her living. Because I told her, my child father don't feel comfortable with you staying here. You have to go. And I'm not going to choose my family, your family over my family. I'm sorry. So you know what you got to do. So she started packing her things to go. I don't know if that had something to do with her as to why she did what she did. When the paramedics came, they said that she hit my stepson a total of 7 times with that baseball bat. She hit him so hard in the head that it knocked his head off of that rotate ball that's in the back of your spine that make your head go left, right, up and down.
Like a rotator cuff or something like that?
Yeah, she knocked it off. So he had to wear a neck brace. And they said if the neck brace didn't heal it to stay still, then he would have surgery. If the surgery go wrong, then he could be paralyzed for the rest of his life. So it's like, we had to keep, he's a child, active child. It was so hard to keep him not from jumping off the bed, running off the monkey balls, playing sports, getting tackled. Like,
yeah, I felt bad because when he came over here, and it was, all the other kids were here running around, and it was like he couldn't like run around with him, and I started feeling bad for him. I don't know how he felt personally. I didn't pull him aside and ask him, you know what I mean? But just me from the outside looking in, he really couldn't like move around or do too much. And then, you got all the other kids running in the house, out the house, up the steps, down the steps, and tag you're it. And it's like,
right. So she couldn't do any of that. It's like she messed my stepson up for the rest of his life. Like, he can't play no sports for right now. He's taking the risk of shifting something within his neck. He could be paralyzed. It's horrible because he's so young. He has his whole life. Mentally, who knows what could go on.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I know that probably breeds a lot of trust issues as well.
Yeah.
Like this is supposed to be family, a person that I look at as my aunt. I identify her as my aunt, and she harmed me in this way. As a child, they don't register a lot, but it's like they know at least like, that was wrong what she did to me. And I know he has to feel like he didn't do anything to deserve it.
He asked, he was like, well, what did I do that made Bam so mad that she did this to me? What did I do? I'm like, you didn't do anything.
He didn't, genuinely. He didn't do anything.
He didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
She's an adult. She should have made better decisions for not just her life, but her family life as well. She has a teenager boy to whom that day, if he didn't step in the way and get beat by the bat as well, my stepson may not be here.
Yeah.
Because he stepped in the way. And I guess she was like, oh, you trying to defend him? And she started beating him with the bat too. Not as bad as my stepson. He wasn't put in the hospital, but he took a couple hits with that bat too.
Yeah. It seems like she was very unhinged that day. I don't know what was going on in her life, but I know for a fact it was days that you would talk to her throughout the day. I've witnessed it on several occasions. Y'all just have these, long conversations, and I don't necessarily know what y'all talk about. I really don't care, but it's like, it's girl talk, and but it could last. I just say that the span of the conversation can be a couple of hours. It could literally be all day long. You know what I mean? So I've witnessed that. And when you say you were talking to her basically all day, And then for that to happen,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what could have happened between you not talking to her and you getting off. It seems like a very short window for her to go in such a rage on a
Right.
child. You know, it
Right.
seems like a manic rage that you would take out on somebody that owed you money or stole from you, you know, to beat somebody with a metal bat. You
Yeah.
know, I don't think the average person just walking around can walk up to somebody and without anger beat them with a metal bat. You
Yeah.
know, that's so I wish we could know exactly what her reasoning was for doing this, you know. I think every situation like this, although it's horrible, it doesn't necessarily heal the wound, but just to know why, I think it helps a little bit, or gives you a better understanding into their psyche. Because I genuinely can't imagine why she did it. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have no idea. It's like, I understand if you wanted to correct or discipline after you were told not to, but come on now, a metal baseball bat.
Yeah, that
This
seems
is
like a bit much.
ridiculous. This
Yeah.
is ridiculous, and it's like, why? She ruined my life. My 2025 was a mess. She ruined my whole life. She ruined the adoption with my son. Supposed to adopt him. Me and my baby father, we were supposed to get married, engaged to get married. We supposed to do the skit. We were doing the skits, the podcast. We started doing a lot of little stuff. Like, she ruined the whole 2025 from her birthday to our best friend day to the cruise we were supposed to take to everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like that one bad apple ruined the whole bunch. Like, I really understand what that saying means now.
Yeah.
Because it's a train wreck of a mess.
It is.
And
It definitely
especially
is.
dealing with my child's father and his side of the people. You know, I never spoke to my stepson's his birth mother until that incident happened when she tracked me down. She like, I've been trying to track you down for 3 hours through Facebook, and I finally found you. And for me to tell her what happened, I was devastated because I knew your son since he was 11 months. You know what I'm saying? And for me to finally speak to you is crazy on this type of a level.
Yeah, it's definitely it's heartbreaking on so many levels, you know, not just what she did, it's the aftermath of what she did. And I want to take a quick break, but I want to, when we come back, I want to talk about the aftermath and picking up the pieces.
All right.
This life's a movie. Stay tuned, there's more to see. This RL, it ain't on TV. Come walk through hell with a nigga like me. Life's a movie. Trying to make it big before the ending scene. Don't cut me short, I'm living out my dreams. Coming from where nothing's what it seems.
All right, so welcome back, and like I said, I want to talk about the aftermath. So we go through these situations. It's a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations. They say, you know, the storm, after the storm, there's a lot of quietness. You know, so right now, I would like to know, one, because you're still in it and going through it, but what does the healing process look like from your perspective?
The healing process is very hard. I sought therapy, so I'm in therapy to make sure that my mind doesn't crack and I end up doing something belligerent. Because my stepson was snatched out the home. He left 1 week before school started, and I didn't see him until like for real recently last weekend. So he's been gone that gap of time. So I don't know what his side of the family's been dwelling in his head and what they've been telling him and how he was supposed to be moving around me. But this weekend, you know, I wanted to take him to the store. Went down there and visit him, you know, let my child's father see the girls, you know, we visit, do a little family thing. So he came in the room and was like, oh, my aunt said I can't go to the store because I'm not allowed to be with you alone. And I looked at my child's father and was like, so who put me on supervised house visits? Like, excuse me, like I'm the one that did the crime.
Wow.
And that's the part that's disturbing, because it's like, yeah, I know that was my best friend of 9 years, yeah, but I could see if I whispered in her ear and told her to do that. I could see if I was there, believe me, if I was there, that incident wouldn't have never happened. Guarantee on my life it wouldn't have happened. I don't play that about nobody's kids. I've never been around someone with that type of title, and yeah, it caught me off guard. But for me to hear that just snap, that's why I'm in therapy. You know, I know my little things to get around it. You know, I'm learning that with my therapist to try to how to walk through this in the healing process. This is very freaking hard. Very hard. But I'm going to go through it because I want my family back. You know what I'm saying? Even if we don't do the adoption and stuff, I miss my son. I guess their side think that me and her still friends and still in coagulant with each other.
Right.
And it's like, if that's the case, her prosecutor wanted me to go on stand and give a great note like, oh, speak on the good times y'all had and stuff. Like, she didn't just ruin my whole family and my life. No, I was like, if this is the case, she can hang. For all of that, I don't want nothing to do with her ever again, because the train wreck she caused in my life for no reason. I did nothing to this girl but love her the way a friend is supposed to.
Yes, it's sad. Excuse me. It's sad when you think about all of the stuff that, you know, actually transpired because of one bad decision.
Yeah.
You know, they say 1 minute, you know, can change your life in a good or bad way. And I think this domino effect just didn't affect you. It affected everyone around you, and definitely everyone around her, you know. So
yeah.
Pray for her, you know, in her situation. I know you guys are not communicating, and I do not ask you ever to speak to her, but, you know, at least send a prayer up for her, because I don't think it was, and I don't have no way of knowing, you know, but I don't think it was malicious. I hope it wasn't, you know. I don't have no way to prove that, but, you know, it's just unfortunate, you know. I wish it wouldn't have happened. There's not too much else we could say. This is a hard process to get through, and I know it's going to be something that it's going to take a while for you to actually heal from, you know, but, you know, I'm here,
Yeah.
you know, so,
Of course.
and everybody else and everyone else out there that's watching, you know, definitely send your support, wrap your arms around our sister, and make sure, you know, she's good. Check on your strong friends. Don't forget about them.
We go through things too now.
Definitely do. So real quick, I know you were saying a little bit. You can say a little bit more if you want to or not, or maybe what you said was enough. But what do you got coming up? Just real quick, one good refresher.
I'm getting back in the studio for videos, for working on trying to put a little one-man band together. That's something I'm looking so forward to, and getting back to writing my movies.
That's good. That's good.
That.
I can't wait to produce those. Can't wait to bring those to life. I'm excited. Yes. And on that note, people, once again, this has been a special edition of Live from the Southside. I go by the name of Truth Telling on Skills. That is Sexy Fee. And we will catch you on the next episode. Peace.